Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest videos. The Rabbit and the Squirrel. The rabbit and the squirrel were best friends. They would play together all day long, running through the forest and climbing trees. One day, the rabbit and the squirrel were playing hide and seek. The rabbit hid in a hole in the ground, and the squirrel hid in a tree. The rabbit waited a long time for the squirrel to find him. He started to get worried. He thought that maybe the squirrel had gotten lost. Just when the rabbit was about to give up, he heard a noise. He looked up and he saw the squirrel sitting on a branch of the tree. The squirrel smiled and said, "I found you." The rabbit was so happy to see his friend and ran up the tree to give the squirrel a hug. The rabbit and the squirrel continued to be best friends for many years. They learned that even though they were very different, they could still be friends if they worked together. Moral of the story: it's important to be accepting of others, even if they are different from you. The Fox and the Stoke. Once upon a time, the fox and the stork were neighbors. One day, the fox invited the stork to dinner. He served soup in a shallow dish, which the stork could not eat from because of his long beak. The fox laughed at the stork and ate the entire soup himself. The next day, the stork invited the fox to dinner. He served the fox stew in a tall jar with a narrow neck. The fox could not eat from the jar because of his short snout. The stork ate the entire stew himself. The fox realized that he had been tricked. He apologized to the stork and promised not to play tricks on him again. Moral of the story: treat others the way you want to be treated. The Woodcutter and his axe. Once there was a woodcutter who was chopping wood by the river. He was so focused on his work that he didn't notice that his axe slipped and fell into the river. The woodcutter was very sad, because his axe was his only way to make a living. Just then, a water nymph appeared and offered to help the woodcutter. She dived into the river and came back with a golden axe. The woodcutter was overjoyed, but he knew that the axe wasn't his. He told the water nymph that his axe was made of iron. The water nymph dived into the river again and came back with a silver axe. The woodcutter was still not convinced, so the water nymph dived into the river one last time and came back with the woodcutter's own axe. The woodcutter was so grateful to the water nymph The water nymph smiled and said, "You are welcome. I am glad I could help." The woodcutter learned a valuable lesson that day. Always be honest, even when it's difficult.